You're paying extra for a purple bag and getting whiskey that tastes like whiskey-flavored vodka. Today, we rank 10 big-name bottles from worst to best and show you which labels drain your wallet and dull your palate. Let's start with the brands that sell smoothness and deliver bland.
At a bad time where domestic demand is kind of slipping as well, and so there's not an outlet for all this whiskey to go.
Well, here at 5, trouble for Kentucky's bourbon industry. Well-known brands in our state are reporting declines in bourbon sales.
All reporting drops in bourbon sales, and experts tell us it's time now for these companies to get creative.
And distilleries tell us the challenges go beyond the tariffs. Isaiah Kim Martinez joins us now. He continues to report.
We've seen Bullet Bourbon report sales down 7.3%. Wild Turkey, I believe, 8%. I mean, that's bad news, is it not?
It is. I mean, it is concerning.
Ryan Cecil is the master blender for Louisville distillery Pursuit Spirits.
Then we'll climb to the bottles that actually earn their price with age, craft, and character. If you're tired of marketing telling your tongue what to taste, stay. Your bar cart and your budget are about to get a reality check. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video.
John Cote brushes off fresh snow before tapping into a whiskey barrel. Keeping barrels outside in Saskatchewan's extreme weather is far from industry standard.
They were very surprised and impressed with the idea of storing our whiskey outdoors, because that is totally unheard of in the whiskey industry.
But that unusual approach stood out to judges at the International Wine and Spirits Competition, earning this family-run operation the title of Worldwide Whiskey Producer of the Year.
Which bottle is basically whiskey-flavored vodka in a crown, and which one earns every dollar with 16 years of patience? The truth is, labels talk loud. Liquid tells the real story, so we rank the big names from worst to best by what is in the glass, not what is on the neck. Here is the problem. Marketing dresses up thin spirit as premium. You pay more. You get less. That bland pour is the agitation. Money gone, palate bored, bar cart full of props. The solution is simple. Judge flavor, proof, and how it is made. Label last. Brand prestige says silky. The glass says meh. We test the gap by looking at grain choices, barrel work, and how much heat survives the bottle.
Couldn't afford to build a building, it sits outside, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, this actually works. And so why would you ever change it?
Cote says the barrels expand and contract with Saskatchewan's heat and cold, creating pressure changes that shape the flavor of the whiskey. That signature technique began by accident. When Cote and his wife Barb first started Black Fox Farm and Distillery a decade ago, they had no choice but to leave the barrels outside.
Absolutely wonderful. It's almost like the barrels are alive and breathing.
Judges also praised the distillery's crop to connoisseur philosophy, with about 95% of their grains grown right on their farm. The owners say the award is also a win for the province.
Now let's start with number 10. Crown Royal, the Purple Bag Mirage. It is smooth because it leans hard on neutral-tasting grain spirit. You get light sweetness, some vanilla air, then a fade so fast you are left chasing the next sip. You are paying for presentation over palate. If you like sodas and simple highballs, it stays out of the way. But as a neat pour, it dodges depth. At 9, Fireball Cinnamon, candy in a whiskey costume. It sits at 33% ABV, which tells you dilution before you even taste it. The heat is cinnamon flavoring, not barrel spice. It masks a shallow base spirit with sugar and burn. Treat it like a flavored liqueur, not whiskey. If you are health-minded, that filter alone keeps it off your shelf. Number 8, Jameson, triple distilled and triple subtracted. Clean, yes. Character light, also yes. You get green apple hints and cereal, then a soft exit. It nails consistency for shots and easy mixers, but if you want a sit and think sip, it runs out of pages fast. Smooth is the point. Depth is the trade. 7 is Maker's Mark, soft wheat and safe choices. That wheat mash gives you sweet bread, vanilla, a bit of baking spice. It is pleasant and round with little bite. The red wax adds gift appeal, but the flavor plays it close to the vest. Great in an old-fashioned when you want it gentle. As a hunt for new notes, it stays in the shallow end. 6, Bulite bourbon, the rye bite that wakes the glass. A higher rye mash brings pepper, orange peel, and a dry, grippy finish. That structure stands up in Manhattans and sours without turning harsh. Price meets personality here. You taste a point of view, not a focus group. 5. Woodford Reserve, classic craft signals with a layered payoff. Think honey, toasted oak, vanilla bean, a touch of cocoa, and citrus. It is balanced, not flashy, and it lets you track how air and time open a pour. Sit with it and your palate learns to spot oak tannin, sweet corn, and spice as separate lanes. Reliable, but not dull. 4. Rittenhouse Rye, the value hammer at 100 proof. Real rye spice shows up as clove and black pepper, with a warm, steady finish that does not quit after ice hits. It is a workhorse bottle. In a boulevardier, it cuts through. Neat, it lands punch and poise. Price under control, flavor over delivers. 3. Four Roses Single Barrel, distinct barrel, real difference. One bottle leans cherry and baking spice, another leans herbal and tea-like. Long finish, clear fruit, and a dry spice frame. You pay a small bump for true variation. It teaches that single barrel is not a sticker, it is a choice you taste. 2. Redbreast 12, proof that Irish depth exists. Pot still whiskey brings a thicker body and spice oil. Bourbon casks lay in vanilla and caramel. Sherry casks add sultana, roasted nut, and orchard fruit. The finish holds baking spice and honeyed malt. It answers the Irish is bland line with a steady no. Number 1, Lagavulin 16, the memory maker. Smoke meets sea salt, then sweet oak and dark toffee. The peat is not ash, it is coastal and clean. 16 years gives edges time to melt, so the finish runs long and savory with a soft iodine hum. You taste place, patience, and wood working together days later. The mini payoffs, quick and plain. The purple bag hides watery, industrial tasting liquid, Crown Royal. The cinnamon, whiskey, flagged for an antifreeze ingredient in the past used food-grade propylene glycol, treat it like a flavored liqueur. Triple distillation trims flavor, so Jameson stays smooth but simple. Mass-market packaging can inflate price. Makers shows honest craft yet plays it safe, while Bulite brings more grip at the same money. Now you know which labels are stage props and which are storytellers. Let's seal it with what to do next. Your best pour is quiet. Patience, proof, and barrels speak louder than a shiny box. Age lets rough edges melt. Good casks load the glass with steady flavor, not sticky sweetness. Proof carries those notes without turning harsh. That is where your money works. If this saved you cash and guesswork, like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets, and share it with the friend who buys labels by the bag. Want a deeper dive into store picks versus single barrel versus small batch, and which one beats hype 9 times out of 10? Tell us in the comments.